All right, all right. So we got the top right here. What's going on, family? So today I wanted to talk about something that I had to deal with today, but a lot of you are probably dealing with as well. I've gotten some questions about it, and before I do my client chat tonight, it starts in about 30 minutes. So I want everybody to come on in so we can get these questions answered before I start that chat with my clients. I wanted to talk about how to survive summer, okay? How to make it through your summer without, in other words, without sacrificing your goals or sacrificing the benefits of your diet. Some of you are keto right now. Some of you are more of a high fat, low carb, but not yet keto. Some of you are fasting. Some of you are doing still 80-10-10. Some of you are raw vegan. Some of you doing different things. Totally fine. But guess what? You're still going to have parties. You're still going to have cookouts. You're still going to have, most of us just celebrated. And when I do this, because most of us is relative, just celebrated 4th of July. Okay, or July 4th. And people cook out. People are off from work. People are eating not so good foods. And I'm sure some of you probably got caught in that trap and you ate your face off, okay? And whether it was vegan or not, you probably still indulged in some cheat foods. I know, let me just clarify what cheat foods are, okay? Because some people come to my page and like, so when you say cheat foods, are you eating meat again? And I say, no. That's not happening, okay? Not for Instagram or YouTube. That's not happening, okay? When I talk about cheat foods, these are literally foods that I wouldn't eat on a day-to-day basis, vegan or not, okay? I wouldn't eat vegan donuts and vegan burgers and vegan hot dogs and vegan, all this crazy stuff. I wouldn't eat vegan Oreo or Oreos, period. So there's a lot of vegan foods that just because they're vegan doesn't mean they're healthy, okay? So now I know I got a lot of vegans out there that think that. So I don't suggest eating those vegan foods on a day-to-day basis. So when I talk about cheat, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about actually cheating with those vegan, not so good foods. So yesterday, most of you probably, celebrated or hung out with family. Whether you wanted to celebrate or not, you hung out with family. And some of you all probably got caught in that trap, got off your diet, probably gained a few pounds. It's totally fine. Okay, I'm getting ready to teach you how to get out of that. So what we do in my program is when we slip up one time and one time only. Okay, so we'll use yesterday as an example. If you cheated yesterday, if you had a meal you weren't supposed to have, or a couple meals, eat up, enjoy it, great. All right, today you should have been back on your diet. That's how we do it. We don't do extended cheats. Oh, well, I had yesterday, so let me go ahead and just eat again. All right. No. We don't do that. We don't do that at all. So once you have your cheat, you go to the next day, you're back on it. Do not fast, most of you. Now, my clients, if you're watching, you can fast, okay, because you got me. All right. So when something's happening, you can walkie-talkie me and I'll teach you how to do it. But if you're not my client and you don't know what you're doing, you're just kind of like winging it, watching a YouTube video and just kind of doing your own thing, do not fast the next day, okay? Because there are some things that can happen that, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to get your way out of it, we can have some issues, okay? Y'all have seen my DMs I'm putting on my stories of people's hair falling out and people getting the bags under their eyes and getting acne everywhere, trying to follow what I do. And I'm not trying to say that in a condescending way. I want you to do it, but when you don't do this thing the right way, there are consequences. And that's why I teach people to, tread lightly. I don't want you, getting I want your hair falling out. My girl, she said, that hair is growing. That's right. It's getting there. It's getting there. All right. It's the diet. It's the diet, the skin and the hair. All right. But yeah, let me see what questions we got on YouTube. What if you are allergic to nuts? So if you are allergic to nuts, keto is going to be super hard for you. And honestly, I'm not the keto guy. Some people may think that, but I'm not the keto guy. I'm vegan. Okay, I'm or plant-based for those hardcore vegans. I'm plant-based. So if you can't do nuts, I'm honestly going to say you might not need to, dabble with going fully keto. So for you, maybe you just do a lot of plants, a lot of broccoli and cauliflower, cruciferous vegetables. Just do a lot of greens and cruciferous vegetables, and maybe add in some other things like avocados, things like that. So you may do a moderate to, you're still not going to go high carb. Okay. So you do maybe a moderate carb and you'll be good, because you can still lose fat not getting into keto. And as a matter of fact, if you're working hard enough, some of my clients do so, we eat 150 grams of carbs a day and we still produce ketones. Okay. And I pointed in there because my ketone meters are in there. These are the sticks. Don't suggest you use those. Because after a while they don't work. But yes, you don't have to have nuts to do this thing. That sounds funny. You don't have to have nuts to do this thing. But you don't have to eat nuts, especially if you're allergic, to do this. We can modify it. So that's what I would do for you, my good friend. Let's see what else we got. Oh, gee. Did their hair fall out from doing keto diet wrong? Yes. Actually, people's hair it's not just from the keto. People's hair is falling out from fasting incorrectly, okay, and or doing keto incorrectly, because both of these things manipulate your thyroid hormones or other hormones. They manipulate these hormones. And guess what? If you continue to do the same thing and you beat it down, the body goes into what's called, quote unquote, starvation mode. And I hate that because it's a different type of starvation mode, but it still goes there. Your T3 drops, your leptin drops, I know most of you this doesn't even mean anything to most of you, but all of these hormones drop and then you get what you call reverse T3. And in the last, so yesterday, I took a call yesterday. In the last 24 hours, I've talked to 10 people, literally talked to 10 people, whether it was through DM, because in my Instagram DM, I'll answer everybody via FaceTime, or not FaceTime, video, or if people come in and they try to apply for my program, I'll actually call you, especially now. I'll call you and see, can I actually help you? Is this program right for you, etc. And 10 people in the last 24 hours. Okay. These aren't my clients. Okay. No, none of my clients are having these issues, but these same people who are like followers and they're trying to do it on their own, guess what? They are having these issues. They're like, oh, I tried what you said on your video. I watched your YouTube and I did it for a week and then my hair started falling out. Or I did it for a few weeks and I got horrible acne and I got, and I'm thinking to myself, why are you doing this like what I told y'all not to do this, unless you study up on it and really, but of course, all right, it's like everybody's not going to listen, and I get that. But yes, people's hair is falling out. People's skin is getting really bad, and it's because of hormones. They're, they're not eating the right way. They're not taking the right, supplements, because you do need more potassium, electrolytes, and magnesium. So all of these things play into it, because when you people go keto because they're trying to flush a lot of fat. Okay. So before I scare any of you, because some of you are like, I ain't even gonna do it. Before I scare any of you, when you flush a lot of fat fast, what happens? You lose water. Okay. A lot of people lose weight. They say, that was just water weight. Well, no, when you lose fat, you're gonna lose water anyway. And the reason why is because when you're losing fat, fat has 2 hydrogen bonds, okay? So fat itself is mostly water, or it's just a lot of water. So when you lose a lot of fat, you are going to lose water. And with water, flushes out nutrients and minerals and electrolytes, okay? So what we have to do is we have to replenish the electrolytes faster than we would on any other diet. That's the thing. So it's not the diet itself that's like, oh my God, let me stay away from that. What it is the simple fact that the diet flushes fat much faster. And because it's moving at a faster rate, we got to do something to keep up with the minerals and the nutrients, the electrolytes. We got to do something to keep up with it, or other stuff will start happening. So the body starts shutting things down. Like, okay, we got to keep the organs running great. So because you don't have electrolytes, because you don't have potassium, magnesium, because you're flushing all this fat and water out, then we're going to start doing other things. We'll shut down hormone production. We don't need the hair anymore, because guess what? The hair is the last, like, it has very minimum to do with keeping you alive. So guess what? All the cosmetic stuff, I mean, it still has its place in nature, okay? Before anybody comes on here and start talking smack, it has place in nature, but it's one of those last things. It's like, if we don't have enough excessive nutrients for hair, we'll get rid of the hair, because we got to keep the heart pumping, and the lungs, and the liver, and the kidneys, and everything else has to take priority over the hair. And this is what I was teaching about when I grew my hair out. I was telling women, I said, look, this is maybe 2 years, not even 2 years of growth. And I was telling women that to grow your hair, you got to get the nutrients inside the body, because before the body will send nutrients to grow your hair out, it needs to make sure all the other organs get the nutrients first. So that was kind of what I was getting at. And people were like, that makes sense. So if I got excessive nutrients or extra nutrients to come up and nourish the hair, then maybe it'll grow. And that's exactly what happens. Okay. So long story short, yes, people are, doing this. And in the last 24 hours, I've had 10 people come to me with hair falling out, acne, things like that, because they are not doing it right. Okay. So, that's what I'm here for, though. I'm going to try to teach you out of that as well. But there's only so much I can teach you in a couple live chats. Let's see. One of my clients here, she said, heard my color getting clear. Probably meant skin. My skin getting clear. People have been asking if I'm bleaching my skin. I'm like, no, I just started drinking more water. So actually, that's not just what happened. Okay, so a lot of your skin and everything is going to start replenishing and thriving because you're eating those high fats as well. So I do have you drinking more water. I think in your program, I scheduled you to drink water like almost a half a gallon before you even eat anything. So yes, you are drinking more water, but we're also, I got you eating a lot more fats. So that's kind of what's going on. So when you eat more fats, usually these fats are combined with oils. This is how you get olive oil, because olives have a lot of fat. You didn't really like the olives at first, but once we got it in, the olives started kind of working for you. And then now you're noticing the skin change, because olives have that oil. The oil is what helps to nourish the skin. So instead of doing olive oil, I just suggest doing olives for the people who aren't clients. But yeah, I like to hear about everybody's skin, because you're one of many. Everybody's skin gets clearer and the color kind of changes. And it doesn't change, but it lightens up a little bit. You look a lot more vibrant. So good stuff. Keep up the good job. No, we're not doing any bleaching or any crazy. Somebody said I did makeup. Somebody thought I had on makeup. So I know what you're going through. Let's see. Would you recommend taking creatine on a keto diet? I recommend taking creatine on a vegan diet, period. Because when you were eating meat, for those of you who ate meat, you were getting creatine, whether you thought so or not. Okay. If you ate red meat, if you ate fish, you were getting creatine. So on this diet, I suggest you do the same, not just to build muscle, not, it has other, it's amino acid, it has other places for the body. So yes, I do suggest a good creatine monohydrate is all you need. That's probably one of the cheapest supplements you can find. I think like a month or two supply costs you about $18. So definitely get that. I'm going to take a drink of water real quick. So we got about 15 minutes before I need to get on that live chat with my clients. So let's answer some more questions. So wanted to do a water fast for like 3 days. Is it safe? Or do I need to add anything with drinking water? A 3-day fast is usually safe. Okay. I think it's where people start going too far with it. Okay. And there's way too many components. It's too many moving parts for me to be able to teach everybody at at once is very hard because, if, like, for instance, so you're getting ready to do a 3-day fast. Good. I don't know what your sleep is like, your water's like, your activities like, I don't know most of that stuff. And the only reason I have a better time of doing it with, like, let's just say somebody who's a client is because I'm feeding them. I'm telling them what to eat before they go into the fast. I'm telling them what to drink. And then on our weekly live chats, I'm telling them how many times to sleep or how often they need to sleep. So I can kind of control the environment a little bit more to help, hone in what we're doing. So when I'm talking to a collective group and everybody's like 3-day fast, 3-day fast, everybody's 3-day fast is going to be different because some people sleep more. Some people drink more water before. Some people are fat adapted before. Some people are not fat adapted. Some people are eating way too many carbs before they go into a fast. So there's so many things. So is it safe? Yes. I don't want you to think, like I said, fasting is just like the worst thing ever because people's hair is falling out. It's when you start to do it a lot, too much, or you're not doing the right, so if you just do a 3-day fast and you just go back to eating fine, the regular way you ate, you're good. Okay. And once again, I ask, why are you fasting? What are you trying to get out of it? So there's so many moving parts. So what do you need to add to your water? Right now, if you just stay hydrated, you should be fine. I always teach everybody before you go into a 3-day fast, maybe do some higher fat, low carb days. That way your body's already thinking, okay, we're getting ready to start burning fat. So when you go on a 3-day fast, you just start burning fat. That's it. You get fat adapted very fast. And then you can even walk. I have a lot of people do that. Walk. Day 1, maybe day 2 of the fast, just do some walking, an hour at a time. Just do some walking. What happens is you hurry up and burn through the muscle glycogen or burn through the stored glycogen so that you hurry up and get it into the fat adapted mode so that you can start working on those fat cells and breaking down fat and producing ketones, things like that. So that's just a slow breakdown of it. It's not going to answer everybody's problem. Let's see. Have you heard of watermelon detox? Replacing one meal with half a watermelon. Heard good stories about it. Yeah, I have heard about the watermelon detox. It's great. You flood and people. Here's the thing: when you do a new diet, especially if you've been eating crap, and you throw in some goodness, it's gonna work. That's kind of how I try to teach people. So if you're eating a vegan diet, but a lot of your foods are coming from whole grains and beans and cooked foods, that's great already. Yeah. But if you chop off a meal and you say, okay, I'm not going to eat quinoa or rice at this meal because quinoa and rice is a little harder to break down. If you cut that off and you say, okay, I'm not going to eat quinoa and rice and black beans at this meal, I'm just going to eat watermelon. Guess what? You're going to feel better. You're going to get better results, greater results. You're going to feel better. Things are going to happen. The benefits are going to be good. Why? Because you replaced the meal that had your body doing this with the meal that had your body doing, like a happy dance. It was it was doing a happy dance. So what happens is the watermelon, it goes in, it's mostly water. It goes right through the digestive system. The body's like, yes, a break. And then all of these things happen. So that's a short summary of it. Other things happen, but what I'm trying to say is, yes, a lot of things like this work. People could probably go on a mango diet, but people could probably go on a cantaloupe diet or a honeydew melon diet. If as long as you are putting that good stuff in, then yes, it will work. So the watermelon diet is, it's not a. I tell people all the time, try to stick to something that you can do a long time. So if you're trying to, just, I don't know, get ready for a wedding and you want to do it for a week or two or maybe a month, cool. But if you're thinking about like, oh, I'm going to just do this watermelon diet for the rest of my life, it'll stop working. The body will get into homeostasis. It'll stop. And this is also what's happening with people who are losing their hair. They're doing something and then their body stays here and then it's bad. It's bad. Because their body goes into homeostasis at wherever they are. So if they're eating lower calories, body goes low calorie, it stays there. If it goes lower than that, if you're fasting too much and you keep fasting too much, you never upregulate the hormones, a lot of bad stuff happens. That's when the hair comes out. That's when reverse T3 goes. That's when the thyroid goes. Most people aren't eating iodine to nourish the thyroid, so it really goes. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. So I don't know how I'm going to help people with that one, especially people who can't afford me, to come into my program. Because listen, I'm not here to just, you need to come into my program. That's not what I'm here to do. That's why I do these live chats all the time, because I just want to teach people what I did to help myself, what I do to help so many other people. But even in that, like I said, I don't know how I'm going to teach everybody how to do it right, because there's so many moving parts. And sometimes I just want to say, don't do it if you're by yourself. If you don't have a professional to help you, don't do it. But of course, nobody's going to listen to me. If I tell you not to do it, you're going to do it. Let's see. When I fast 16 to 18 hours, when I fast 16 hours and eat in an 8-hour window, I lose muscle. Maybe I'm not eating enough during the feeding window. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You're not eating enough in the fasting window. And that's exactly the problem. So yeah, seriously, you're right. You just diagnosed yourself. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Outside of the potassium and the magnesium and other things, most people just aren't eating enough when they do eat. So before anybody tries fasting, especially that's vegan, I always tell them, get your nutrition down first. Eat all day. I'm talking about eat everything you can in a 24-hour window. Just eat out all day. Eat until you get as full as possible. Like, eat as many calories as possible. Because what we're going to do is we're going to slowly start to shrink you in to where you can eat those same calories in a small window. So y'all seen my videos where if you go to my YouTube and scroll all the way down, you've seen why I ate 3,000 calories in a 1-hour window. So when I eat, I eat. Okay, I eat. So there's a saying where they say, don't eat less. So I'm doing this. Don't eat less. Eat less often. So it's like, no, we're going to eat the same, just in a window. Eat less often. So that's one of the tricks, to kind of stop the hair falling out, and, people can't get it up, it's happening because you're not eating. Okay. Trust me, I've been there. I know about that. Okay. So you gotta eat. You gotta eat. You cannot starve yourself, or the body will starve you of benefits and functions. Let's see. Norma says, will you recommend fasting for a mailman who walks 6 to 8 miles a day, as long as you take moss and Himalayan salt? Yeah, that actually could work really good for you. The reason why I say that is because think about it like this. On the grand scheme of things, when we first started doing, if you go through history, I'll say that. If you go through history, when we actually fasted, we were walking. We had to walk a long distance. And what happens is, because walking is so chill, like you're chill, mailman, you're good. Put your bag on, you just walking. You're not doing any running. So what happens is your heart rate is lower. Your expenditure is lower. You actually would get benefits from walking. So yes, that's exactly I would definitely recommend that, as long as you stay on your moss, your Himalayan salt. And when you do go and eat, you eat, and this is why I talk about manipulating macros. So when you go eat, don't go eat a bunch of carbs. Go eat some, lower carb, higher fat, moderate protein type foods and good vegetables. You're good. That's perfect. Yeah. So I like that. Let's see. That'll help you from losing muscle as well. Another one of my clients said, people have been asking me the same thing. Are you using carrot soap? I'm like, no. See, this is what I'm talking about. So I love to see, especially when y'all come in and make me look good. It's like, some of his clients are coming in and they got skin like him. Yes, they do. All right. A lot of my clients, their skin, it changes as we eat the right way and nourish ourselves the right way and fast and do all these things. Yes, everybody's skin changes. I don't care how bad it is. If you follow what I tell you to do, which is another story, but when my clients follow what I tell them to do, their skin improves, like dramatically. Their waist shrinks. dramatically. Okay. They get stronger. They hold on to muscle dramatically. Okay. You get where I'm going with this. Things happen. So I love to see when my clients come in, especially in the live chats, and make me look good. But yeah, that's amazing. Let's see. But if a person have kidney issue, can they still take creatine? That's when you have to talk to your doctor, and that's where my influence on Instagram shuts down, because I will not tell you what to do when it comes to that. I'll tell you, go check out your doctor. I'm not the guy who's going to tell you what to do. Don't forget the doctor. You're good. No, go check with your doctor. Okay. The reason why I say that is because now some doctors might not know. Okay. Because you have two different things. You have creatine and creatinine. So, if your kidneys are having issues, creatine may or may not, be good for you, may or may not help you. That's for you and your doctor. Okay. So I'm not even gonna say what I do or not. I'm not gonna mention none of it. So go check with your doctor and, come on back and let me know what they say. Thanks. I understand. Very helpful. I try to be helpful. Thank you. Thanks for your answer. Of course. Let's see. I'm behind on Instagram. If you eaten lower calories for a long time and have intermittent fasting, what's the best way to increase calories? That is the problem right there. Yes. So this is what we need to work on. So basically, for those of you, if you didn't hear me, basically, if you have been eating lower calories for a long time, and you're intermittent fasting, what's the best way to increase calories? This is what pretty much, I'd say 90% of my following, or 90% of the internet, period, this is what's happening to 90% of the people on the internet. We do crash diets. I just talked to a new client who came in today. Yeah, today. I was talking to her before she came in. I was asking her, so, tell me what you do. What have you done in the past 6 months? And in 6 months, this lady tried 10 different programs, like 10 different diets. And here's the problem, okay? The problem was she was going on different people's YouTubes and just trying what they were doing. And she's like, and she said, this was her words exactly. She said, and because I didn't put any money in it, if I didn't feel like doing it, I was like, I'll go to the next diet. So she made it her logic to come into my program. She said, well, I think if I put money into you or into this program, I'm not going to, how did she say it? I'm not going to go to the next diet. I'm not going to I'm going to stick with this because I just paid you my money. And she's like, basically, I need something to box me in. And that's where most people are going wrong. So to answer your question about the low calories, people jumping from calorie or diet to diet, trying to do what they think works, the best way to get out of that, and I know it sucks, you have to cut your, let's see, I got something popping up here. There we go. You have to cut your, go away. There we go. All right. You have to cut your activity level down. I know it sucks. I've had to do it before. So if you work out 5-6 times a week, you're going to have to cut it down to two or three, maybe 2. And even cut the duration down. If you're working out for an hour, cut it down to 30 minutes. By cutting your activity level down and then raising your, slowly, you don't have to just jump in there, slowly raise your calories up. So if you're at, I don't know, most women will go down to 1,300 calories, which I never suggest going under 1,300 calories unless, you have, there's a reason you're doing it, but shouldn't be any reason you're going under 1,300 calories. There are certain diets that you can do for a week only that permit you or allow you to go down to, 500 calories, something like that. It's called a fasting mimicking diet. That's okay. Dr. Longo is a beast with that. So you go check that out. But to get around to your question, I'm sorry, my mind goes everywhere. You want to, if you're at 1,300 calories, add 200 a week, maybe. So go 1,500 this week, cut down on exercise. I know it sucks. The next week, add 17, go to 1,700. Don't add 1,700 calories. Go to 1,700 calories. Sit there for a week. If you feel good, you feel like everything's happening as it should, go on up to 1,900 calories. And I'm going to suggest, I see you're small, you're like a small woman, but guess what? All of my small women eat upwards 2,300 calories or more. I got some small women eating 3,000 calories a day. It's all about your macros for one. For two, it's all about how your metabolic health is. So of course, I've primed them to get to that level to where they can thrive and sustain a 3,000 calorie diet and not gain any weight. And this is where I'm smacking all the trainers upside the head and nutritionists. I'm smacking them all upside the head who are talking about calories in versus calories out. That is not this game. We do not play that game. And that's why most of y'all, I'm going to say that with my Nashville Southern slang, that's where most of y'all are getting screwed, because you're watching these YouTube videos, you're watching these people who are cutting their calories, okay? And you get caught in that calorie cutting game. Okay, so you start at 2,000, then you go to 1,800. You still want to lose weight, so you pick up some more cardio, and then you go down to 1,500. You pick up more cardio. This damn fat not coming off. You pick up more cardio. You cut more calories, and before you know it, you're down to 1,100 calories doing 2-a-days, 7 days a week. Yes, I've seen that. Okay, so this is what's going on. This is why I'm smacking trainers, because most people are just regurgitating what they hear. They're not really reading or studying or getting certified. This is what pisses me off, because you have people like me who have put this stuff into application. Like, I was a trainer in real life. I'm not just playing one on TV, okay, on Instagram. I'm not just playing a nutritionist on TV or on Instagram. I'm not just playing a holistic practitioner on TV or on Instagram. I put this stuff into real world practice for years before I even came on Instagram, before I came on YouTube, before I came on TV. So it pisses me off because some people come on and they start teaching. I always do that. They teach, but they're not certified, or they never really did this stuff in real world. They never sat down with people and actually touched them, and worked with them. They're just coming on here talking shit, basically, okay? And they're regurgitating something they heard. So it's a sad day. It's a sad day. All right. What's the difference between old Magic Mouse and the new drops? If you go to the site, you'll see there was a bunch of stuff added to it. Myself, and mostly myself, I'm going to pat myself on the back for this. I came up with the formula and I handed it to the team, my business partners. And basically, for a lot of my clients, I've noticed we needed more potassium, more iodine, things like that. So we added kelp and dose. And what else is in there? Kelp, dose. Oh, also, a lot of people have liver issues, especially my women, toxic livers, because you like to drink and you like sugar, toxic liver. So we also threw in dandelion root, milk thistle to detox the liver. There's something else in there. Oh, also the coconut sap, which is where you get that vinegary taste. We threw the coconut sap in there. We threw, I think there's one more thing. Oh, and the bladderwrack. We threw bladderwrack in there. So that's the difference. We concentrated it down into a smaller bottle of droplets. So it's like we tried to put, the best way I can explain it is if I took 5 bottles of the regular Magic Mouse, the big bottles, and I concentrated it down into one bottle. It's kind of what we tried to do through an extraction process, dual extraction process. So yeah, that's the difference. It's a smaller bottle, but it's more servings per bottle. So you just drop it under your tongue or in water. You probably saw me do that today. Drop it under your tongue or in water, drink it, you good. It kind of just tastes like vinegar, to be honest, like apple cider vinegar. And that comes from the coconut sap, the aged coconut, which is vinegar. It's coconut. But yeah, that's the difference. And actually, it lasts longer. Okay, so that's another big difference, because we were trying to find a way to make this thing last longer. Magic Mouse, the first brand, only lasted for about 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks if you were lucky. And then it would go bad. This probably last you a year or two. Okay, because that's what it does. Also, we can now we can get it out in the heat. Okay, so there is no cold processing. we get it out during the summer months. So, because a lot of my clients, you know, especially some of my clients in Canada, they're like, I need that moss like now. Like, I don't need to wait until August or until September or October sometimes. I need it now. So, yeah, team, we went to the drawing board. We tried to add some stuff that a lot of you all were coming in and asking for. And then likewise, we also tried to handle some of the things that we were having issues with, like the summer months. So we're rolling now. We up and rolling, and a lot of people are happy about that. So I'm happy about it. I love it. I love it. Let's see. If your job is working at a desk, but you work out daily, how many calories should you eat in a day? That's a broad question. And the reason why I say that is in essence, I'm going to try to take you where my mind is. Shit, I am late for my client's video chat. I'm going to answer this question and I got to go. So you're asking me a question based on not knowing how big you are or small you are or how, you know. So you're saying, give me a calorie number. I could be 150, pounds, or I could be 300 pounds. Give me a calorie number. And that's not going to be the same for both people. So once again, it's the personal basis. I need to know some stuff. How much do you weigh? What type of activity? There's so many things. What are you currently eating? So, but I got to get out of here because, like I said, I'm late. So I love you all. Sorry for the people who I didn't get to answer your questions. I'll be back live tomorrow on Instagram especially. Don't know about YouTube because I might do it during cardio. But I got to get to my clients because I'm 3 minutes late. I'm sure they're waiting on me. So I love you all. Talk to you soon. DM me, both of y'all, YouTube, Instagram. DM me if you have any questions. I'll answer back. All right. Peace out. Love you.